passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Welcome back to Walk With Me, a Cyber Warrior Studios production. I'm your host on this journey, the Cyber Warrior. Now, this week is a little different because this question that we have is interesting. And it's interesting in terms of what they're asking and how to go about approaching it. So it says, I have a hard time to balance feelings of gratitude for my employer with feeling at times like I am excluded from opportunities. I am so afraid to stand up for myself because I don't want to appear ungrateful. Can you help me? And to be honest, whoever wrote this in, this is a very good question. And it's a valid question. Even in my line of work, I've always been afraid, up until recently, to approach even the topic of a raise or a promotion or anything like that. I've been afraid of a lot of things. And you never want to feel like you're pushing a company, like they're not doing enough for you, while at the same time you feel like you deserve more. And I think this is something where you really need to consider, do you have a relationship with your manager in such a way that you have one-on-ones or skip levels where you're having a one-on-one with maybe your boss's boss or anything along those lines? And this is important because if you think about it, those topics of conversation should come up. And that should be a time where you can reach out to your boss or, in those meetings and say, hey, I feel like I should be doing more. I feel like I should be on this project, or I should have one of these clients, or whatever the case may be, in whatever field you're in. And this can go for any field. If you're in sales, then maybe there's a client you really want or you want to approach, and they seem like they're just giving these bigger clients to somebody else. Or if you're in marketing and you want to do something different, or if you're in, pick a field of something where you could be excluded or feel like you're being excluded based on your level or some other reason. If you're not having those conversations with your management, then you need to start. Because one of two things is going to happen. Either A, they're going to tell you not to worry about it and brush it off like it's no big deal, in which case you may want to look at leaving that company in the future. Or B, they're going to say, okay, how can we enable you to do more? How can we help you? For two reasons. One, they appreciate what you bring to the company. And two, because they want to take a chance on you and they want you to sink or swim. So they're going to give you that opportunity, but only if you show the willingness to go forward and do it. In my own career, I struggled with that where, when you're in the military, a lot of it is just taking orders and you do what you're told. And yeah, they say they want you to show initiative, but depending on who your command is and who's in charge, things can vary. In the civilian world and in the different jobs I've had, sometimes it is still just taking orders. It's, hey, these are what you have to do for the day. These tasks, get them done. And I've always excelled at that. Don't get me wrong. I've been very much a creature of habit. And if you tell me what you need to get done, I'll get it done. When you leave me to my own devices, I do very well, but it takes a lot of discipline and it takes a lot of time management, things that I've been working on in my own life. So to sit here and think that maybe you shouldn't be doing something, or maybe you're afraid to ask these questions. Look, wanting to do better in the company you're in is not being ungrateful. Wanting to get paid more for your work is not being ungrateful. Wanting to get promoted is not being ungrateful. These are all things a company should look for. They should be looking for those employees that want to do more, that want to offer more, that want to sit back and look at it and go, you know what? I could have done better. Give me another shot. Give me this project. You know what? I'm doing all this work plus this guy's work or this woman's work or, this person's work. I'm doing all this and I'm not getting paid for it. So why don't you give me a raise? Or, Hey, I should be getting promoted, and I've been working towards promotion. Let me get promoted. What do I need to do to get there? But you need to have those conversations. It's okay to be grateful for what you have. But if you're striving for more and you want more, you can't be afraid to ask, because the company's either going to value that or you need to look somewhere else. Because any company that doesn't value you isn't going to care about your growth, isn't going to care about what you really want from the company. They look at you as a number. Whereas any company that values you cares about your growth. They have some type of plan in place, or should, or maybe you need to work with your manager to develop that plan, to make it better, to make your career have meaning and actually have goals set in place for you. And if you have those conversations with your management, you'll get there. It's just, like I say a lot of the time, a lot of this is on you. We fear so much. We fear being told no. We fear a lot of things. We are so afraid in our lives. So afraid of what might happen and what the consequences are. Look at the consequences, the good and the bad. And look at what outweighs what. If you are going to have a better handle on your career, if you're going to have a better job, if you're going to have a more productive life and a more productive career by reaching out to your management and letting them know how you feel and letting them know that you should be doing more, then do it. Just because they say no or brush it off doesn't mean your career is going nowhere. It just means you may want to look elsewhere. Because you need to be willing to do what's best for you and do what's best for your career and your life. No one is going to put as much effort into their life and into their career than the person who has to live it and deal with it every single day. That's who does the most. That's what matters. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. Don't be afraid to talk to your management about what you can do better. Because I guarantee you there's a lot of things that we can do better, or that we need to do to get promoted or get a raise or be included in projects, and we're just afraid to ask. Don't be afraid. Fear's the enemy. Because fear makes you doubt yourself. Fear makes you doubt everything you're capable of. And we got to stop. It's okay to have a little bit of fear, because it makes us really look at what we're going to do and evaluate the situation and the risk and the consequences of our actions. But don't let fear hold you back from your success, because you have to be able to take those steps, to take that leap of faith that it's going to work out, because that's really what matters. That's really what's going to take you places. If you become complacent and afraid to ask questions, then you're going to be stuck where you're at the rest of your life. If you become complacent and afraid to take chances and take risk, then you're stuck. You're not going anywhere. You're waiting for somebody to give you a handout, to be like, hey, here you go. And that's not how we need to live. Take your chances. Take those risks. Talk to management. Talk to upper management. Do whatever you need to do. But this is your career. This is your life, not anybody else's. You have to take responsibility for your actions and your career. No one cares about as much money as you want to make or about how you're going to live your life more than you do. And if you want to live your life the best way you know how, then you have to take charge of it. You have to take control. That is the only way you're going to get somewhere. Don't wait on others to do what you should be doing. Don't wait on others to say, hey, let's do this. Or, hey, these should be your goals. Because it's going to hold you back. It's going to keep you from getting to where you want to be in life. So stop waiting. Stop being afraid. Be grateful for what you have, but work for what you want. It's kind of like the old saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And the funnier meme is when they show someone dressed as Batman. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to be that rich, but it's just a matter of you have to make those choices in life. If you want something, go for it. Ask the questions. Reach out. Now, saying that, as always, I have to end with some words of wisdom, and I didn't do it last week, so I really want to do it this week. So let me leave you with these final words of wisdom. Now, I don't know where these words of wisdom come from, but given the topic of this conversation and how you need to take control of your life and control your decisions and not be afraid to stand up and say what you want in your life and in your career, I think this is very valid. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. So have courage. Be courageous in all that you do and make the right decisions in your life. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes happen. But be courageous and take charge of your life. Take charge of the decisions in your life. Otherwise, look, I love you all. And this has been another amazing episode. So, if you appreciate this episode, please check us out on Good Pods, where you can review every episode and you can let me know what you think below this. And I'm also available on all major platforms, of course. And then also, please leave a rating. Find all the ways you can support this show and at any of my other content down below in the description of this show and this episode. And I will catch you all next week with another amazing episode.